of, in a midweek series like this, the challenges to escape Kate's 4 hits last night, 4 hits today, to be no hit for 6 in the third.
I'm quite frankly at a loss. We've given the, you know, it comes down to coaching. I take the responsibility for it. But at the end of the day, we feel like we're giving these guys the information they need. We just aren't getting it done. And that's, it's discouraging from a coaching staff. I think those guys are discouraged too. And I don't know if their guys are trying too hard or what's going on. I wish I had an answer, because right now it's pretty dismal at best. You know, I'll jump on the grenade and say it's me. I mean, if I knew how to fix it, I would. But when we're talking about it, we're trying to give these guys a simple, clear, clean-cut approach that takes the thought process out of it. A lot of times when you're scuffling, you're thinking too much. You know, our offensive approach is not real complex. And if you look back at the tapes and the film, it's like, okay, the pitches that are hit are there. We just aren't putting the fat part of the bat on the ball consistently. And we're capable of so much more than this, and it's just not happening. So for me, I don't know. I'm really at a loss. We've watched film, watched video, and replay, and analyzed. You know, to the point where my eyes are bleeding practically, trying to figure out what's going on with guys swinging the bat right now. And it's just not. Again, that's our job, but the other job, trying to get these guys to just think clearly and simple and aggressive. It just ain't happening.
With the series in Tucson, there were a lot of hits, obviously, in some of those games. Maybe some lack of hitting with runners in scoring position, but like with this kind of drop off against Utah Valley, is there anything really that you can put a reason for it, or is it more like we've talked about how, you know, things with baseball, there are lapses naturally as part of the game? Is this one of those things?
I mean, you look at velo. Did those guys have velo? No. To blow us away? Did they have nasty breaking stuff to keep us off? No. I mean, we've faced arms every bit of that, you know, so far this year, and we've done very well against those type of arms. But for me, it's a lot of focus, I think, and ready to play mentally. I think has a lot to do with it. Again, which I probably preach more than I need to on being ready to play, and maybe they tuned me out. I don't know, but my style of play, or my era of, you were ready to play, or somebody held you accountable for that. And you know, right now, again, I'm preaching, asking these guys to hold each other accountable more and wake each other up a little bit. It can't always come from us, but you know, at the end of the day, I guess when all's said and done, you point the finger at myself, or I point the finger at myself. I got to somehow figure out a better way to get these guys locked in and ready to play better than they are, because we just got outplayed 2 games in a row, quite frankly, by Utah Valley. So if that's where we're at, and that's what these guys are satisfied with, then it's going to be a long rest of the year. But I believe we're better than that. And again, to me, it's the responsibility falls on my shoulders. So I got to get them better.
And then the consistency, stability of a lineup. And then you talk about maybe moving guys down, but I mean, is it something to where, I mean, you could literally shake the whole offensive lineup up and just have guys hit in different spots? And I know it goes against stability and consistency, but is that a thought?
We have. When was the last time we run the same lineup out there 2 days in a row? I mean, we're trying guys in different spots. Put McLean 2, 5, putting Campy 2, 3, putting Toby 6. At some point in time, you just can't take everybody out of the lineup. We don't have anybody left. So, we're trying, and then it's one day, one guy will hope you roll out 5 hits, and then the next day it's a little sluggish. And so if we can just kind of get back to the consistency of things, you know, and then maybe some of these guys that haven't gotten a ton of playing time, you know, I know they're chomping at the bit to get ready to play too. We're trying to mix those guys in too, and that just doesn't seem to be working a whole lot either. So, you know, bottom line, it sounds like there's cloudy days right now, but I believe in our offense. I believe that these guys can swing it better than they are. I've said it before, hitting is contagious. It just takes somebody to light the fire and get this thing rolling with a big hit and a big moment, and hopefully the floodgates will go, because I've seen what this offense is capable of doing, and right now we're nowhere near what we're capable of doing, but until the fire gets lit, it's frustrating to watch.
We've already seen this offense being successful at times, especially earlier in the year. What about the team did you see then that might not be there right now, that was allowing them to perform so well in those first couple weeks?
You know, I think they just weren't missing pitches early in the year. I mean, they were getting pitches and they were on time and squaring it up, and we had merry-go-rounds going.
Yeah.
You know, and right now we're late, and I don't know if that's just these guys are in there swinging more than they need to be swinging, and the bat speed's gone or whatever. I'm not sure. You know, I can't monitor these guys 24/7, but I do know that we're not over swinging them during batting practice. I feel like we're giving them the right amount of swings, but the bat speed doesn't seem to be there, and the crispness of contact doesn't seem to be there. We are getting good pitches to hit, and we're fouling them back, or you know, not taking anything away. We hit some balls hard too, but right at guys. But you know, early in the season, those balls were flying out of the ballpark left and right, and now, you know, Utah Valley's balls are flying out of the ballpark, but ours are making it to the outfielders is all. So I don't know. I'm kind of at a loss right now, to be honest. And we'll go back and watch this film later on today and try to come up with something, but I don't feel like we should be shut down the way we're being shut down right now.
What is kind of the team morale and communication amongst players right now as far as where they're currently at?
It better not be good. I mean, because if this is what they're accepting, then we're in trouble. So I didn't talk to them much after the game. I just said, that's essentially, where's your pride? You guys figure it out. I'm tired of preaching. I've been preaching a lot and trying to motivate these guys, get them going. But at some point in time, you gotta look in the mirror, and either you have it or you don't. And if we don't, then I guess I recruited the wrong guys. But you know, that being said, I don't feel that way about these guys. I do believe that's in there. These are great kids. They have the desire to be good, and right now I just think they're in a rut. But they got to get out of it soon, because this is not our brand of baseball right now.
What do you think about the pitching performance today? It seems like Schieffer continues to give you some really strong innings.
You know, it was he had a few walks there, but all in all, he made big pitches when he had to, which was good. You know, he continues to do what we ask him to do. So we didn't want to stretch him out too much more, just because we got to have, you know, we got to have those arms available this weekend too, and we gave him 2, and I think that was about enough for him. Ben Jacobs got out of that first inning, and then you know, ran into a little roadblock there in the second. I didn't want to stretch him out too long, just you know, again, for reasons that we got to have arms for this weekend, and the pitching wasn't necessarily the issue. We just couldn't. We need to score runs. I'm not going to run our best arms out there for 3, 4, 5 innings just to watch our offense sputter. So, you know, we were able to get, you know, enough from those guys to where we should have scored enough, I think.
With the Sunday roll kind of up in the air, the guys who you've seen have been really good out of the bullpen. Ahmed having a performance like he did last night, Jacobs, Schieffer. At what point do you open up options for maybe stretching out a reliever to get someone in that starting role, or are you not really at that point with that?
You know, we have different options, I think, but you know, it's robbing Peter to pay Paul. You take your best arms out of the bullpen and start them, then who do you got in the bullpen? You know, and we all see what a punch in the stomach that is when you lose a game late, when you don't have your good arms late to finish games. But you know, right now it's a challenge for me and Sammy to try to put guys in the right situations where we can give enough length but not too much, and you know, keep guys available for the following day. And so right now we haven't even looked at Sunday. We're licking our wounds from today and scratching our head, going, what in the world? But you know, we'll look at Friday and see who we got. You know, following Bernsey, and you know, seeing what we can get out of Bernsey and how we finish that game, and then worry about Saturday and Sunday.
Back in your playing days at ASU, after a loss, what would be kind of the player conversations and to try and motivate each other to kind of bounce back and get back in rhythm?
You know, I think there was you know, a lot of discussion, but there was a fear factor too that we had. If you didn't represent the program properly, or didn't play hard, or didn't bounce back, there was someone there to fight you, and it's a different era.
Do you recall a stretch like this? Obviously, if you have a certain feel for where the players are at mentally, emotionally, when you were a player, do you ever remember a time when you and your guys were at a point like this?
I played a long time. Yeah, I've been through stretches like this before, to where it's dismal and seems like every day's cloudy and overcast and getting ready to rain, right? And like I said, it just takes one guy to step up and get the big hit in the big situation, and the floodgates will open. And that's what I think guys are waiting for, that guy somebody to step up. Like I said, some days individual performances are great, you know, some days, but are we putting it together as a team performance? No, we haven't done that yet this year, in my opinion. So at some point that's got to come if we're going to be the team we want, and the pieces are all there. At some point in time throughout the year, like I said, there's been enough very good individual performances that we have enough guys that are capable of making this thing work. It's just gotta flow together better as a team, and guys stepping up at the right team moment to get things done.
Today you had 3 errors in the field, 2 coming for pickoff moves. Would you say that had any effect to the offensive side of the ball today, maybe kind of changing the momentum?
Shouldn't. It's a different side of the ball. You put a chalk line there for fair and foul, and to forget about defense when you come to offense, and forget about offense when you go to defense. So, you know, that's baseball 101. You don't bring your offense to defense and vice versa. But you know, the miscues, those are inexcusable. You know, we can't execute a pickoff move to first or to second and drop a pop up and drop a routine ball from short. Like, you don't deserve the win. Those are just a lack of focus, in my opinion.
You talked about last week, lost in Mexico, trying to switch up routines as the guys are more ready for these kinds of games. Is there any sort of anything new insight on
that? I would say this: we've done everything we can to accommodate them. They need to grow up at some point in time. Either you got it or you don't. Either you're ready to play on Tuesday and Wednesday or you're not. I can't do any more than we're doing. We are giving them every possible thing we can to accommodate their inability to focus and play. And maybe I'm enabling too much, but at some point in time they got to grow up and learn how to play. Like, if these guys want to play at the next level of pro ball, you don't get days off in pro ball. It is what it is. And you got to show up play every day. These guys are getting 3-4 days off a week where they're not playing games. So don't give me the mentally fatigued thing. Just learn to show up and get ready to play. Again, so that's, I guess, where I get frustrated at times, where it's like, I shouldn't have to motivate every single day. At some point in time, you got to look in the mirror and get ready to play. And these guys are good kids that care, but it's like, man, come ready to play. Button your chin strap and be ready to go punch somebody in the mouth. Not literally, but competition standpoint, be ready to go. And, you know, we can't sit and wait till 6.5 innings before we decide to wake up offensively. That's gotta be from pitch one. So, for me, that's the, I guess, where I'm still trying to learn how to poke and prod and get these guys going. Clearly, I haven't done a good enough job yet.
The players only meeting post-game, has that been something that has increased in recent weeks? Obviously, you had talked to us about wanting more of that player-to-player accountability, like in terms of the volume of having the players in those contexts to talk to each other. How often does that happen?
I don't know. I mean, the players, if they're doing it, good for them. It's about time. So I did not speak with them long. I figured sometimes things unsaid are better than the things I was about to say. So I just kept it very brief, and if they wanted to have a meeting themselves, so be it. Good for them.
Thanks, Coach.
That's right.
Thanks, Coach.